Migration changes you, but not always in obvious ways. At first, you only notice the external things, such as new country, new language, new routine. And then slowly, something deep starts shifting too. The way you think, the way you see people, and even the way you see yourself. And then one day, you realize something strange. You no longer feel completely from one place.
From struggle, still standing.
Hello, Great Tribe. Welcome back for part 3 of our migration series. Today, we will focus more on what happened after you migrated. Yes, on the first part, we have discussed about the history of migration, how it has happened, how it is a human condition. And on the part 2, we have talked more about the reasons, even before and nowadays. What are the main reasons why people migrate? And also, what are the hurdles, the difficulties that people go through when they move, when they migrate to another country? And today, on the last part, we want to focus on what happened after you have gone through all the difficulties, all the adaptation, all the integration. What happened? For my personal story, I gave you my background. I grew up speaking French. Traveling is good. Meeting new people, it's nice. It's good. But there is a side of it that no one is talking about. But after a while, after moving into many places, learning new languages, meeting different peoples, adapting to different cultures. At first, yes, it feels good. You feel some sense of improvement. But then slowly, you start noticing something. When you live abroad, for example, for 5, 10 years, you learn new languages, you go to different places, you have a group of friends, you adapt. When you go back home, sometimes it doesn't feel the same anymore. So the previous place where you were born, for example, and you have left after some years, you go back, and that same place doesn't feel the same anymore. Because when you left, people also have grown, the neighborhood may have changed, the country may have taken another direction, and things just don't look the same anymore. And when you go there, sometimes you become a foreigner because, of course, while the country was moving without you, you were growing somewhere else abroad. For my personal point of view, for example, what I have noticed, yes, I have shared with you my background before. I used to call myself Christian, even though not religious. But now I am more spiritual than religious, meaning my interpretation, my point of view, how I see the scriptures, how I interpret the scriptures, how I use it or how I adapt it to my personal life, it's no longer the same as before. Yes, I still believe in God, God exists and everything, but I don't justify everything in life with God like I used to, you know. The thinking has changed. So when I read the scripture, I don't analyze it in the same way that I was analyzing it before. Most of the time, when you talk to people that you have known your whole life, after moving, after having different perspective, now you talk to them and then you don't feel the same anymore. It's like, I have known this person my whole life. Now it's like we don't agree anymore on many different things. Our point of view is not the same. So you go back to your country and you become the foreigner. People start questioning you, people start calling you names, and you also, you start questioning things. For example, things that you didn't have problem with before, suddenly they become a problem with you. Now you question those things. The way of living, the way of talking, the way of thinking, even food that you used to enjoy sometimes, now you don't enjoy it anymore. I am not saying it's good or bad. I'm just putting it out there that that's what happened also. That's another price that you pay when you move abroad. For all the colonized countries, we used to have that mentality. We used to have that complex of inferiority because we grew up watching American TV, American movies. In your mind, automatically, you have that complex that, oh, everything is better in the US. Let me take my own example. This is how I was thinking before. So I studied law, right? But when you check the list of best universities in the world, you will see the universities like Harvard, MIT, Yale, Stanford, Oxford, uh, Columbia, all these universities. My thinking before was that, oh, these countries, they have electricity, they have internet, they have better infrastructure, they have better libraries, and they have like best universities in the world. Meaning, the average American or the average French will be more intellectual, will have a higher IQ compared to someone like me because I come from a poor country. We don't have electricity, we don't have internet, we don't have the best books or have even access to books. So I have less information compared to someone who's living in those developed countries. That was my thinking until I moved abroad, and then I found myself in a situation that I had to like compete with these people. I had to talk to them, and that's when I realized that, oh, actually, no, the reality is that no, no, no. Even if you come from a shitworld country, as long as you are diligent in your studies, as long as you keep informing yourself, you read books, as long as you keep cultivating your mind, you can be competitive. Yes, they have the advantage to have the infrastructure and all the things that I have listed. But at the same time, when you talk to them, many are not geniuses as I thought. So after living with US citizens, people from UK, people from France, when I talk to them on intellectual level, for example, having a debate regarding international relations, regarding geopolitics, regarding, for example, religion, different topics, or even life in general, you will realize that, oh, actually, you have more information than most of them. So now my point of view, my value in my own eyes has completely changed. So it builds a sense of like awareness, and at the same time, it boosts your confidence. So at the moment, I don't mind no matter where you come from. So I will not like feel like, oh, you are superior to me because of your country. No, I don't have that complex anymore because thank God I came abroad and then I met these people, I talked to them. Another example that I can give you, let's talk about language, English language. Most of the time when you are, for example, you go to Southeast Asia and you are ESL teacher, so in teaching English as a second language, most of the time you will find people from US, people from UK, Canadians, people from Australia, people from South Africa. Those are called native speakers. Ireland also. So when you go to places like China, Vietnam, Cambodia, you will meet a lot of foreigners doing that because that's the main job. They have like public schools and at the same time they have English centers. In the English centers, sometimes it's about adults or even like teenagers who are preparing their English exams or who want to, after their studies, they want to go, for example, to abroad, for example, in UK or US, and they had to pass the exam. So there is that test called IELTS. From my own experience, the best teachers of IELTS that I have met during my time in Southeast Asia, they are not from US. They are not from Australia. They are not from Canada. They are not from UK. Guess where they were from? They were from the Philippines. I met a girl who had 9 IELTS, but 9. And that's not something common. And something that I noticed, there is a city closer to Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam, 2 hours from Ho Chi Minh actually. There is an English center there. The lady was only hiring Filipinos and African teachers. I went there myself and then I asked why. And she said, no, native speakers, they have the accent. She realized after opening her center that Filipino teachers are the best when it comes to teaching the IELTS because the requirement to be accepted as a teacher in that center is to pass the IELTS yourself. And every 6 months, you have to test yourself. And she was paying for it. Most of the native speakers would fail. So that's something that you will notice when you get out. But before, when I was back home, I didn't have that notion or that self awareness, you will say. So now I can say that I don't have that complex anymore. As long as in my domain, I can compete with anyone, no matter their country, if it's developed or not. Another thing that I notice is that there are things that you will become less tolerant to. For example, my brother was telling me this situation where someone was renting his house, okay, and that guy didn't pay the rent for more than 1 year. Back home, they will find justification and stuff like that. For this kind of situation, they will be more tolerant because, oh, life is tough and stuff like that. But for me, that is absolutely non-acceptable. I cannot tolerate something like that. If you are a responsible person, I see that, oh, you are trying, maybe I can tolerate you 1 or 2 months, but no more than that. I cannot honestly let someone live in my house for more than 2 months while that person is going out looking for girls, going out drinking. No, that for me, it's not possible. That simply means we don't have the same priorities, because if you live abroad here, who will tolerate you to live in his house for 1 to 2 months without paying? No, it doesn't make sense. So when you are abroad, you have that pressure to organize yourself, to plan your life properly, to have priorities. But you go back and then you see that no, people are less diligent in that sense. They take things like slightly, they don't take things seriously. So it's not your house. You know that it's someone's investment, but you want to live there for up to 1 year without paying. So what about the person who built the house? What about his own life? How is he providing to his family? These are things that people don't consider back home. And when you do it, when you think like that, automatically they will qualify you as you are insensitive, don't have the sense of solidarity anymore. That's why I was asking the question in the previous one. Finally, at this point, where is home? So where is home? Is home a geographical location? Is home the people that you have grown up with? Is home the memories that you have from different places? Or is home the person that you have become? The place that you were born, you go back there, they treat you as a foreigner. And when you come back abroad also, you don't really feel like you are 100% part of the place. For someone like me who has been in many places, speaking different languages fluently, you have different part of those places inside of you. And you cannot really define yourself belonging into only one place specifically. So honestly, right now, I don't know. So I have like a conflict defining my identity. Yes, of course, I know that I was born in a place, but I left that place for more than almost 20 years ago. I identify myself with different things that I have learned from all these different places that I have been to, all the people that cross my path. I learn from them, and that's what makes me who I am today. These are things that sometimes really bother me, and I think of it, and I wanted to share with you guys. I honestly don't have answers for most of the questions, but at least I am on the way looking for the answers. I'm checking, I'm reading, I'm doing research. And that's why I created this YouTube channel, so that we can share with each other. What is your experience? What have you been through? How are you growing into this life? How are you navigating? How are you coping with all these changes, the lows, the struggles, the identity crisis, all these things? How are you coping with? If you are a Christian, how are you growing into your faith? Because definitely, when you have lived in many places, the way you see the world, the way you see people, and even the way you see yourself changes. Please share, comment, and like this video. Share with your friends so that we can have more like-minded people and build a community and keep the conversation going. Because it's really encouraging if you leave a comment, if you leave a like, so that it will motivate me to make more videos and put this thought out there for everyone. Thank you for watching, and I really appreciate your time. And as I always say, on your way to where you want to be, never forget to be happy. Thank you very much, and see you on the next one.